This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Boox Note2 by Onyx. It is a ebook reader and also a digital note taker. We've reviewed some Kickstarter kind of variations of this product. Well, these guys are some of the gorillas in the business for making big screen e-ink readers with pen support. You might not have heard of them though, because obviously they're not as big as Amazon Kindle or Nook, you know, Kobo, those sort of things. We're going to look at it now. So this is a product for those of you who are into e-ink. This is an e-ink Carta display. It is 10.3 inches, 227 ppi. You can see the resolution on screen right now. So nice, big, sharp screen, bigger than you'll find available, say, in a Kindle or something like that. The company, Onyx, does make a variety of sizes from 6 to 7.8 to this 10.3 and all the way up to the Max 3, which is 13.3 inches. This is a higher end model than Note 2, and so thus it's not cheap. Right now, I think they're running a special, $550, and that gets you the cover and the pen as well. It's available on Amazon and on their own website and that sort of thing. So what sets it apart from other products? Well, gee, it's certainly not an iPad. Like I said, it's for those of you who want e-ink specifically because the battery life is measured in days and weeks and not in hours. It's easier on the eyes than an LCD display. You won't get so much eye exhaustion, that sort of thing. And it's light and thin. Yeah, I mean, sure, Android tablets from Samsung, high-end ones, and the iPad, they're not too big and too heavy, but boy, comparatively speaking, so you compare this to the iPad 11 or 10.5 inch or Samsung's offering, it is lighter and it is thinner as well. But one thing about it is you'll notice with e-ink, the screen refreshes relatively slowly, way slowly, compared to an LCD display. So this is not something you want to watch videos on. Now, Onyx did do something interesting here, and they actually offered some non-standard e-ink refresh methods in case you did want to try to watch video or see smoother scrolling on websites. The default refreshes the entire e-ink display to get rid of any ghosting, the light gray marks and whatever previously was displayed. That's the default. But you can set it to that kind of fast motion support mode. It doesn't look that great. It helps, but you can see what it looks like to try to watch a YouTube video on this. So it's not for multimedia consumption of the visual kind. However, if you want to listen to audiobooks, if you want to listen to music from Spotify or whatever while you're using it, that it can do. It has stereo speakers, it has USB-C, so it supports USB-C headphones and earbuds, and it has Bluetooth 4.2 as well for wireless solutions. This is based on Android 9, and those of you who don't know much about these things and are into phones might say, oh, well, Android 10 is the latest. Well, typically products like this, e-book readers, they run several generations behind. So actually, Android 9 is pretty impressive stuff. They don't have a great track record for updating it, so you might have to live with Android 9 for a while, but at least it has that. And we have an Octa-core Qualcomm processor. It means an 8-core processor inside. So as they go, and compared to some of the products we have looked at from Kickstarter kind of places, this one is relatively fast. Even though the screen refreshing slowly might make you feel like it isn't. It has plenty of processing power. It handles PDFs very well, including the 220-page Corel Painter PDF file that I've been testing on this. As you'd expect from a high-end e-ink reader these days, it has front lights, and they are color temperature adjustable. Anything from a warm yellow-orange all the way to a whitish, slightly blue light, and you can control that using a slider. And not so common is the fact that it also has a contrast adjustment, which essentially bolds things up more than anything else. So does a pen, yeah? Well, that's nice stuff right there. What do you do with it? Well, for example, if you want to mark up PDFs, you can either save that as a side file, the markups, or you can save it integrated and export the whole thing with your markups on it. You've got lines. You can even choose colors, which is kind of an odd thing to do inside of the note-taking app and inside of the embedded note-taking functionality in the PDF and ebook reader that's on this machine. I mean, you can't tell when you're using red or blue or green, right? So you probably might just end up getting yourself confused, but if you exported it, those colors would be embedded. We do have grayscale here though, so you can do different shades of gray, which is something that obviously you could see. As far as I can see, you've got a pen and a pencil, but you don't have a highlighter, which is a little bit weird. I think a lot of people like to use them. There are selection tools and other sorts of things. Their built-in drawing program or note-taking program is quite good, and generally speaking, you want to use the one that came from the manufacturer if you're using an e-ink reader with pen because they've optimized it for the e-ink refresh rate, so it seems very fluid and very fast. So it's not bad at all. If you were using it for note-taking, writing at a normal speed, it works just fine. Because it's based on Android, you get text-to-speech, and you get nice OCR functionality built into it. It actually works with my terrible left-handed handwriting. You could also use it for drawing and grayscale and that sort of thing, and it's not bad for that. But if you switch to one of the many Google Play Store art applications that are out there, we tried Autodesk, for example, and boy, it's not optimized for e-ink. It'll be unusably slow. Likewise, if you're using something like OneNote, the e-ink is going to seem slow, so you kind of got to stick with the built-in one. You can plug it in via USB-C to your Mac or your PC, and you can get the files off that you create, so that's not a problem at all. It has 4 gigs of RAM and it has 64 gigs of storage, and there is no micro SD card slot, but that USB-C slot does support on the go, which means you can actually use things like flash drives with this, or keyboards, or mice, or anything that Android supports. Speaking again of Android, this is a heavily skinned version of Android to make it, well, relevant to ebook reading and all that sort of thing. You've got a library system, you can create folders and organize your books, you've got different tabs for your settings, your notes, your ebooks, all that sort of thing. But you can use the Google Play Store, which is a real big plus here. Oddly, they don't enable it out of the box. You have to go into settings and turn on Google Play. And I had no problems with that. I enabled it. I didn't get any errors about it not being Play Protect certified or anything like that. I downloaded a bunch of things. I downloaded Spotify and Audible and Kindle, and you get the idea. The world is your oyster here, which is the selling point for ebook aficionados, honestly, versus something that is made for a certain store's ecosystem, like the Kindle is. You want to read Mobi on this, you want to read EPUB, you want to read CHM help files, text files, anything like that. It's great. If you happen to buy from different bookstores, like Kindle, for example, you can put Kindle on this and read. You can put Nook store on this, and you can read those books too. So versatile, very nice. And obviously anything that's open EPUB and Overdrive library books too. So those things are pretty nice without having to hack your e-reader or use conversion or break DRM or anything like that just to get something on your e-reader that you probably originally bought anyway. It does support both portrait and landscape orientation, so if you want to read a PDF, for example, because PDFs don't reflow if you zoom in and zoom out. You can zoom in if you want, but there's that, right? So do that in landscape mode. Likewise, if you want to do something side by side, if you want to have the notes application on one side and an ebook on the other side of the screen, that you can do. And that's pretty much it for the multitasking split window feature here. The pen, by the way, is Wacom EMR. Tablet PC enabled style pens will work with this, so that's the better kind. 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. Palm rejection, meh, not the best that I've seen. You could always wear an artist's glove, though, if you're really going to get into note-taking or drawing on this. So that's the Onyx Boox Note2. Again, kind of a high-end purpose-built machine for those of you who want to do the note-taking, the underlining, and use ebooks from anywhere in any store. That said, they also do make more affordable ones. They have a $189 one that is a 6-inch size. You get the idea. So they make a variety of products. If you're looking for something kind of big screen that is really solid, actually, in terms of the features and the functionality, well, this is it. Oh, by the way, fingerprint scanner in the home button even. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos, and thumbs up if you like this vid.